Hello, my name is Muhammad Samsu Saputra from Master Program Universitas Internasional Batam. Today, I will talk to you about my thesis proposal, which is Limitation on Discrimination by United States to Huawei ban, pertaining to the developments of 5G technologies. So, why I talk this slowly? Because one of my fellow friends told me in the last video that I talk too fast. So I will talk more slowly, so I hope you can hear more clearly and my explanation can go through. Okay, that's enough about me. What I want to tell you about is there is a case in 2019. That is a case where United States banned Huawei. They banned Huawei because Huawei is almost becoming the forefront that making development of 5G technologies comes through. What is 5G technologies? That is a more clear and new technology that make military and everything in our world can be more faster and more efficient. And why that is important? Because there is 5G technologies not only for communication, but can also be used for military. If you have a higher ground or higher technology in militaries, then you can gain a more favor in this world. That is why United States in 2019 choose to ban Huawei. That is in hope that China government who use Huawei companies cannot make the development of 5G technologies comes through. So United States hopes in the future they can slip China government so they can become the first that create 5G technologies, not China by help of Huawei. So that is why I will make this as my thesis. For the introduction, I will tell about the dassault or hopes that is attempt to achieve by this problem. There is a general agreement on tariff and trade in 1994, which is created by World Trade Organization. In the Article 11, they said that precludes discrimination against both imported products in comparison to local products and products imported from one World Trade Organization member in comparison to those from any other countries. That is the dassault or the hopes that hopes to achieve by these rules. But the fact is, in 2019, there is three problems that's arising. The first is Huawei product banned by United States, all of it. So Huawei really cannot do anything on their companies because in a company, especially on technologies company, they not use all of their technology. They also use technology from United States, from Russia, or from anything. They don't create anything by themselves. So by United States making a ban on them, they will have a halt on their production, and that is also mean they cannot continue the development of 5G technologies. The second one is technology companies product and material regarding China 5G technologies got banned by United States. Yes, what I talk about the first one. This is also what is the concerning matter because in the dassault they hopes that all of the imported product do not get discrimination. But in reality, United States bans all of China, especially Huawei technologies. Why? Because they don't want the development of 5G comes through and China become the first one to discover it. And the last one is, this is a public matter, not a private one, which is Huawei founder doctor arrested unlawfully as a leverage for United States discussion on Huawei companies. So all of these three problems, which is the facts, make me think there is a gap between the hopes and the facts that happening in this case. So that is why my research focus is limitation on discrimination by United States to Huawei ban pertaining to the development of 5G. Okay, move on. That is my research background. For my content, I will have three questions. I will have like three questions about this, which is the first one: does United States and China already fulfill their responsibilities to World Trade Organization principles and GATT ruling? The second one is, what is United States base for banning Huawei? And can it be justified under World Trade Organization principles and GATT ruling? And the third one is, why China does not complain to World Trade Organization regarding discrimination against Huawei? The next one is research objective. This is in accordance to my research question, which is to analyze if United States and China already fulfill their responsibilities to World Trade Organization principles and GATT ruling. The second one is to analyze what is United States base for banning Huawei and can it be justified under World Trade Organization principles and GATT ruling. And the last one is to analyze why China does not complain to World Trade Organization regarding this discrimination against Huawei. To make you more understand about what I want to talk about, before I go to my next presentation, I will give you a small video that will tell you what is really happening and why I propose this as my thesis proposal. So, let's watch.
The arrest of Huawei's CFO Meng Wanzhou put markets on edge.
This new element of the stock tumble, an arrest, the CFO of Huawei.
The CFO and her company are under scrutiny by U.S. authorities who claim that the Chinese telecoms gear maker violated U.S. sanctions on Iran.
This arrest, I think that is not going to go unanswered.
At the time, it was seen as the latest skirmish in the trade war between the U.S. and China, but it's actually the latest entry in an ongoing high-tech struggle between the US and the Chinese smartphone giant over national security. Huawei is now the #2 smartphone player in the world, shipping more units than Apple. The company is right behind Samsung. The US has taken a hard stance against the company even before the arrest, so why go after Huawei? Huawei has been under scrutiny since at least 2011 for its allegedly close ties to the Chinese government. Some US lawmakers and intelligence officials think that Huawei's hardware could also provide a backdoor for China's massive and sophisticated state surveillance apparatus. Huawei denies these allegations. American lawmakers and regulators have been fighting Huawei's introduction to the US market for years. In 2011, Huawei backed out of a deal to buy a startup called Three Leaf Systems because of US government pressure. And a year later, the House Intelligence Committee issued a report that accused Huawei and ZTE, a Chinese rival, of stealing intellectual property from American companies and supporting espionage efforts. Huawei is now wrapped up in President Trump's trade war with China, but the security issues loom large. The Federal Communications Commission introduced new rules in April 2018 that block federally subsidized telecom carriers, like AT&T, from using suppliers deemed a risk to national security, including Huawei. The Pentagon also stopped selling mobile phones and modems made by Huawei at stores on military bases in April 2018 because of security risks. Around the same time, the directors of the CIA, FBI, NSA, and other intelligence agencies made a case against Huawei and ZTE before the U.S. Senate Intelligence Committee.
We're deeply concerned about the risks of allowing any company or entity that is beholden to foreign governments that don't share our values to gain positions of power inside our telecommunications networks. That provides the capacity to maliciously modify or steal information, and it provides the capacity to conduct undetected espionage.
As a result, President Trump signed a bill in August banning government use of Huawei and ZTE devices. Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton alleged that, quote, Huawei is effectively an arm of the Chinese government, and that it can steal information from U.S. officials by hacking its devices.
These companies are dangerous to our national security and to your privacy. Huawei and ZTE are nothing more than extensions of the Chinese Communist Party. Huawei's CEO was an engineer for the People's Liberation Army. The company's livelihood consists largely of a steady stream of government contracts. And its greatest claim to fame is shamelessly stealing the secrets of American companies. That's why it's under investigation by the Department of Justice for that and for violating sanctions against Iran.
American companies are also feeling pressure for ties to the Chinese smartphone company. AT&T, for example, dropped a deal with Huawei to sell their phones at the start of 2018. All of this is happening before 5G potentially reshapes the telecom industry. 5G networks are super fast, and they're designed to support the next generation of the internet. 5G is supposed to power not only smartphones, but also driverless cars and web-connected factories. Huawei wants to become a major player in 5G outside of China, but it's facing pressure internationally because of cybersecurity concerns dogging the company. The US is urging its allies to block Huawei from 5G projects in their countries, and both Australia and New Zealand recently did just that. So as the legal drama involving Meng plays out and continues to rattle global markets, remember, it's part of a years-long struggle between Huawei and those who worry about its alleged close connections to Chinese spies.
So, the benefit that I hope to gain by making this thesis proposal is two, which is theoretical contribution and practical contribution. For theoretical contributions and benefits, I will state that fair play theory by H.L.A. Hart and analytical framework theory by W.C. Hovell still relevant to analyze limitation on discrimination by United States to Huawei ban pertaining to the development of 5G technologies. Therefore, for the next, researcher can use fair play theory and analytical framework theory as analytical tools to analyze problems concerning trade ban. The next is practical contribution and benefits. I will hope that my proposal can be of use for China government, United States government, World Trade Organization, and academics. The next one is the contribution is for developing law study. The next one, chapter 2, literature review and theoretical frameworks. For the literature review, I will divide it by 4 categories, which is operational frameworks, conceptual frameworks, legal frameworks, and result of past research. For operational frameworks, I will tell about what is the definition of discrimination, what is the definition of trade ban, and what is the definition of 5G technologies. Then, after I define all 3 of it, I will go to the conceptual frameworks, which is what is World Trade Organization, what is their use, who is their member, and what they can do for trade in this world. The second one is trade discrimination. I already tell about trade ban and everything. I will tell about the trade discrimination. The next one is general agreement on tariff and trade, which is the Dasolen or hopes in this thesis proposal. The next one, 5G technologies, and the last one is trade ban. So why shall I make this conceptual framework? Because if I tell you about 5G technologies, you can just guess what is 5G technologies. Oh, it's a more modern and more new kind of technologies. No, that is something different. That is why United States really persists on banning Huawei, in hopes that United States can become the one who discovered the 5G technologies, not United States by the help of Huawei companies. Then I will also tell you about legal frameworks that I already said before in conceptual framework, which is Article 11, Article 20, and Article 21 on the General Agreement on Tariff and Trade 1994. For my result of past research, I will use for the first one 5 journal, which is the first one is the journal about Huawei ban in the United States, projected consequences for international trade by M.D. Sajjad Hussain, which is released in the International Journal of Commerce and Economics. The next one is to ban or not to ban Huawei by Munish Sharma, which is released in the Institute for Defense Studies and Analysis in 2019. The third one is Huawei and United States Law by Stephen P. Mulligan, which is released in the Congressional Research Service. The next one, The Worst Possible Day, United States Telecommunication and Huawei by Thomas Donahue, which is released in the Journal of Prism Edition 8. And the last journal is Beyond Huawei and TikTok, Untangling United States Concern Over Chinese Tech Companies and Digital Securities by Robert D. Williams, which is released in the working paper working paper for the PEN project on the future of the United States and China relations, which is released in 2021. So that is all about my literature review. But what's about my theoretical frameworks? My theoretical frameworks use two kind of theoretical, which is the first one is fair play theory by Herbert Lionel Adolphus Hart, which say when any number of persons conduct any joint enterprise according to the rules and thus restrict their liberty, those who have submitted to this restriction when required have a right to similar submission from those who have benefited from their submission. So why I use this fair play theory? Because both United States and China government, they are member of the World Trade Organization. That is why, because they join all kind of benefit from World Trade Organization, they also need to be a subject of the ruling of the Article 11, Article 20, and Article 21 from the General Agreement on Tariff and Trade, which is released by World Trade Organization. This is why I use fair play theory. You get benefit, you also got restriction. If you only want the benefit but you don't want to do their restriction, then you are not doing any fair play. I will explore this later on the thesis. The next one is Analytical Framework Theory by Wesley Newcomb Havel, which saying that phrases ascribing rights, which seem superficially similar, are used in different ways. That is claim right. That is what I want to explore by using this analytical framework theory. So, why I use these two kind of theories? That is because for fair play theory, I will connect it with my first research question with this, which is, does United States and China already fulfill their responsibilities to World Trade Organization principles and GATT ruling? For the second question, what is United States basis for banning Huawei and can it be justified under World Trade principles and GATT ruling? I will use more about the analytical framework theory. And for the last question, why China does not complain to World Trade Organization regarding this discrimination against Huawei, I will use all of these two theories to make a sense. For the last explanation, I will talk about the chapter 3, which is research methods that I use in my thesis proposal. For the research method, I use normative legal research. Why? Because my research object, which is my research sources, all of it is divided into two main categories, which is primary legal material and secondary legal material. For the primary legal material, I use Article 11, Article 20, and Article 21 of General Agreement on Tariff and Trade 1994. For the secondary legal material, I will use journal. Then for the data collecting techniques, because research type is normative legal research that fall within the category of legal principle research, of course I will use library research to collect the legal material needed within this research. After all the legal material is collected, then I will place the data systematically, started from primary legal material obtained and also the secondary legal material. This is a needed step to check for the completion of data obtained, all for the sake of to minimize oversight and errors on collecting the data for this research. For the data analysis methods, I will use juridical qualitative. Thank you for watching. I hope that you gain something by watching this. And also, I ask for forgiveness if there is any misinterpretation or any misinformation that I tell you about my theory in the this thesis proposal. I hope that you gain something, and to God I ask for the mercy. And also, Happy Independence Day for Indonesia. I hope that Indonesia become better and we can get salvaged by this pandemic situation. I really hope that we can go normal again. Not the new normal that we use right now, but the real normal that we gain before the pandemic happening. Thank you for watching.